In March 2011, I was healthy, exercising regularly, a bit overweight. But I had this cough that had gone on for a few months. To make my husband happy, I went to see the doctor. 2 months later, I was diagnosed with severe pneumonia and advanced lung cancer at age 55. The doctors kept saying, "I'm so sorry." I didn't know anything about lung cancer. I'd never smoked. I'd never lived with smokers. I never worked in a smoking environment. Lung cancer wasn't even on my radar. Being a recovering nerd, I went online to learn more. And there I saw some sobering facts. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of both men and women. In fact, it's the #2 killer of all kinds in the US. Imagine a jumbo jet crashing and killing everyone on board every single day. That's how many people lung cancer kills in the US alone. The overall 5-year survival rate is only 16%, among the lowest of all cancer types. The majority of patients are dead within a year of diagnosis. What do you do with information like that? Where do you go to learn how to live with lung cancer? Well, my solution was to find an online lung cancer community. I joined with an alias, like many members do, in part because I didn't want my already anxious family to see all the details of my graphic side effects. But there was another reason, which took me a while to understand. Lung cancer carries a stigma. We've all heard that smoking can cause lung cancer, so lung cancer patients are blamed for their disease. Most people don't realize that over 60% of patients diagnosed are either never smokers like me or former smokers who quit years ago. Yet the first question I hear when I tell people if I have lung cancer is, "Did you smoke?" So I had treatment, one of the more aggressive treatments, concurrent chemo and radiation. And I went online to learn about what side effects I could expect. I also found that many people had done well with my treatment, and that those statistics I saw, they apply to a group, not to individuals. I don't have an expiration date stamped anywhere on my body. Talking to other lung cancer patients gave me hope. 2 months after treatment was finished, a scan showed the treatment worked. But I had a new tumor now up by my collarbone. I was now a metastatic lung cancer patient. I was home alone when I got that news. The panic was overwhelming. I felt like I was standing in 30-foot surf that kept knocking me down. It took days to get over that feeling. Some of my online friends told me that I could get tested for more mutations, but I didn't have any of them. So more treatment, more chemo, followed by more radiation. And I read online about other patients' experience and shared some of my own anonymously still. 2 months after treatment ended, the scan showed the treatment had worked. But I had 2 more new tumors, this time in my other lung. My oncologist said I'd be on chemo for the rest of my life. But an online patient told me about a new mutation called ROS1. He said I fit the profile of patients who had this, and he sent me a research paper so I could learn more about it. Next thing I know, I'm flying to Denver to try and enroll in a clinical trial. I remember wondering what the heck I was doing flying 1,000 miles from home to a doctor I didn't know. But the gamble worked. 2 weeks later, I started taking a pill called crizotinib. And 2 months after that, there was no evidence of lung cancer in my body. I had achieved no evidence of disease, or NED, as he's known to cancer patients, for the first time since my diagnosis. I am not cured. Targeted therapies do not cure, they just suppress the cancer. But I'm pretty lucky. My oncologist says I have a 70% chance of making it to 2016. I am amazingly, deeply grateful to everyone and everything that helped me achieve NED. Medical science, with its research and treatments, insurance that paid for most of my treatments, family and friends who gave me support, a wonderful, extensive online lung cancer community, and the prayers and good wishes that have lifted me up. A second chance at life tends to make one have a different perspective. A splash of color on Mount Rainier, or the sea breeze rustling the Douglas firs can make my whole day. Chatting with my sister over a latte can keep me smiling for a week. A second chance at life also makes one introspective. Why was I spared when so many others with lung cancer die? Why does my mutation have an effective drug when so many don't? Why do I get to see one of the world's best lung cancer doctors when many people can't get good treatment? Why am I still here? What purpose does the universe have for me? Shortly after I started my clinical trial, I went to Starbucks with a friend, Jay Lake, a science fiction writer who has been blogging for years about his metastatic colon cancer. Jay had had a recurrence and was interested in clinical trials. I told Jay about what I'd learned of clinical trials and new research for cancer treatment. And Jay told me about all the responses and comments he gets to his blogs about cancer. He got far more comments on his cancer blogs than he did for his writing, and he'd written a lot. In that meeting, something clicked. Up until that point, I'd only shared my lung cancer journey with family, close friends, and anonymously online. Maybe I could do more. I've been blessed with gifts that helped me get through my lung cancer treatment. In my previous career as an aerospace systems engineer, I was a technical translator of sorts. I could research a technology and then explain it to someone else and show them how it could benefit them. Well, I'd been applying that to my lung cancer. I could understand the science of my disease and my treatments. I could advocate for myself with healthcare professionals. And I could explain what I've learned, both verbally and in writing, in everyday terms. I'd use these skills to help Jay. Maybe I could use them to help lung cancer patients. Most lung cancer patients don't know about the type of treatment that I'm getting. Even some doctors don't know. Lung cancer patients don't need just compassion. They need information. They need hope. Could I provide that hope? It would require going public about my lung cancer. After a lot of soul searching, I realized that I am just a steward of these gifts that got me through my lung cancer. I was meant to use them to help other people. And the best way to do that was to go public. My first step was to open my Caring Bridge journal so that anybody could read it. It was only one click, but did I feel exposed? Then I followed Jay's example, and I started blogging. Next, my church asked me to speak, and I spoke about my lung cancer experience. My sister and I teamed up and gave a presentation to chaplains in training to explain how cancer had affected our family. And after that, it was a small step to speaking in public. Going public with my lung cancer has had some great benefits. Patients tell me it's encouraged them to ask more questions and encourages them to see somebody who is living with lung cancer. But it helps more than just patients. Family members tell me it helps them to understand what their loved ones are going through. Chaplains say it's helped them understand what their patients need and feel. Even some doctors have said it helps them understand how patients can be partners in their own care. But perhaps the best is that it's helped a lot of people realize that anyone can get lung cancer, and no one deserves it. I've also had a personal benefit from going public with my lung cancer. When I'm having a day when my brain isn't working right, or I'm gasping because I exercise too hard, I remember that I am helping real people, and I keep going. I'm now a 3-year survivor. I've outlived my prognosis. I'm still on the clinical trial, and I'm still NED. It's an odd life, living from scan to scan every 8 weeks. But I'm satisfied living with lung cancer as a chronic illness, because it means I'm still living. Now that I've found my voice, I help other lung cancer patients find hope. All cancer patients deserve hope. Every one of us. Thank you.